A very good side yesterday, Hutch, you're over there, but Port Adelaide Footy Club, who made the finals last year, of course, and are going beautifully. They're such a fit side, and that's what you love about them. They love Ken Hinkley, and they play for Ken Hinkley. They really, really play for their coach. Don't know if they're a genuine grand finalist, but
they're
certainly
a top 4 team.
Top 4 side, exactly, no doubt about that.
I've got them wrong, Lordo, I reckon. They are red hot, Port Adelaide.
Can they win? Can they win the whole thing? Are they that good?
No, I don't think they're as good as, say, Hawthorn or Fremantle yet, but they're certainly on the rise. They've got some great leaders in the game, some young boys. Travis Boakes, a very, very good captain, of course. Chad Wingard, Ollie Wines, these guys. But the turnovers yesterday really hurt Adelaide. Big occasion. I think Adelaide might have got a bit overwhelmed by the game. Those simple mistakes, costly turnovers. 3 goals in the first quarter came from little kicks in the Adelaide backline that really, really hurt them. And no, they're a good side. This man there, Westhoff, he can play forward, he can play back. Wingard's a star, we all know that. But just some of the kicking was terrible.
16 goals they got from turnovers, Bill, Port Adelaide. But what about Pods Yardley? Are you concerned about him?
No doubt about that. He hasn't fired a shot this year. It was quiet against Geelong and it was very quiet yesterday. And so is McKernan too. I don't know, they've just got to play him deep, I think. He doesn't do too much more. Hutch, you were there yesterday. Tell us about the occasion.
Right now, this is the best football stadium in the country, on any code.
MCG.
It is a magnificent stadium.
Come on, Hutch.
Even the crew looking at me. It's the most enjoyable stadium in the country right now.
Enjoyable, not the best.
Just change your tap.
Well, it's
incredible.
as a customer experience,
Mate,
that is unbelievable.
Have you been to Simmons Stadium? Mate, that is one of the greats. Don't worry about that.
MCG's not too bad,
Yeah, and the G's pretty good.
It should be. It's brand new. It's a day old. It should be the best.
I know, but you've already said it's the best there is.
It's a silly
It's
statement,
a
Craig.
magnificent
Take that, I'll take that. Look down the barrel.
That's a view from the Champions League.
Look down the barrel and take it
You
back.
didn't make the effort to go over and do your own research. You sat back.
I watched on the telly.
Behind your new lights at Geelong and carried on about them like they were the first
Look
lights
down
on
the
street.
camera and say I might have just added a bit of mayo.
I reckon right now it's the best
Well, I
football
thought
stadium.
Zabel getting sacked after one game was a big call.
I'm not backing away from that for 1 minute. It's magnificent. With the Sunday Footy Show, unbelievable day at the unbelievable Adelaide Oval yesterday, which launched the redevelopment in style. Well done everyone involved. $500 million project and a big win by the Port Adelaide Footy Club, who were tested but just had all the answers built, and they've announced themselves as a contender.
55-point win there. They certainly are. 7 goals in that last quarter.
54 points.
Oh, we'll go with 54 then. I'm sure it was 55. Kane Corn 33, Hartlett 29, Ollie White's 23. Douglas and Brodie Smith was also a good player for the Crows, but Adelaide too good. 7-goal last quarter. Very, very fit. And to tell us all about how good that ground was Kane Corns, who had 33 touches yesterday, 10 marks, 5 tackles. Welcome, Kane. Tell us about the atmosphere. 50,000 people there at Adelaide Oval. Great atmosphere, and the crowd was very, very loud, mate.
It was, and you've got no idea the build-up for probably the last 2 weeks, and all through the pre-season, the state's been talking about this game. So we really wanted to play well. It was our home game. We got first crack at it. So I thought the boys were outstanding from the first bounce yesterday, and it was one of the most enjoyable wins that I've ever had.
No doubt about that, and there was a 5,000 Port Adelaide supporters march from Rundle Mall to Adelaide Oval. They had the T-shirts on the seats. There it is there, sensational. And you started well, and it was so important to start well and win that first quarter, and I think you kicked 5 goals, 4 to 1 quarter in that first quarter, 1 goal in that first quarter.
Yeah, it was pleasing. It's been an issue for us. We've started really slowly, even last year and towards the start of this year, our starts have been poor. We didn't really address it as a group that much, but we knew we had to start well, and that was one of the most pleasing parts of the game for us.
Kane, I've been in an argument here all morning with these peanuts about the quality of the ground. Yeah. They don't understand because they haven't made the effort to come over and see it. It is one of the most unbelievable football stadiums in the world.
Hutchie, I reckon it's right up there in terms of what we've got in Australia. It's you need to come and experience it for yourself, but the noise sort of gets trapped in the Oval, a lot different to Footy Park, and the atmosphere and the noise that the crowd makes is unlike anything I've ever heard, probably apart from the MCG on prelim final weekend, but it certainly compares to that. 50,000 there yesterday, it seemed like a lot more, and our supporters were terrific.
Hey, Cornsey, a lot of people are starting to talk about Port Adelaide being the real deal. We played finals last year, won a final. Are you good enough to make top 4 this year?
Look, yeah, we're definitely good enough. We haven't set 2 goals in terms of what we can achieve. We just really haven't put a ceiling on what we're capable of doing. But I think I've been surprised about some of the footy we've been able to play, especially during periods of games. There's there's stages where we're pretty much unstoppable. I think our midfield's developing really nicely, and the forwards we've got in the forward line probably match it with any other teams in the comp. So, yeah, look, we're happy where we're sitting. It's early days. We only played 2 games, but yeah, we couldn't be more pleased with our start.
Plenty of goal kickers, as you said there, but you're also very fit, Kane. And again, yesterday, 7 goals in that last quarter.
Yeah, that's why it's important to start well, because we know, we've got a real belief in our fitness, and I think the fitness issue is more about a mental belief that we've got within the group and the ability to know that we can really finish off games, and we've done it sort of time and time again over the last 2 years. So to go in up at 3/4 time was a real bonus for us, knowing that I think we're second behind Hawthorn for last quarters in the last 2 years. So we had a big pre-season. We went to Dubai and got flogged for 10 days over there, and that's looking like it's paying dividends.
Now, Kane, you've played with some wonderful players in your time, but where does the Chad fit in? Chad Wingard, we love the way he goes about it, so exciting, and once again, put on a show for everyone. Chad Coins.
Yeah, you're right, Croft. He probably reminds me of a sort of a young Gavin Wanganeen. I think he can be that good. I know that's putting maybe a little bit of pressure on him, but his freakish ability to do some of the stuff he does. I think he was quiet in the first half, and Kenny Hinkley challenged him at half-time to get us up and about, and he came out after half-time. I think he kicked 3 goals in the second half. He's probably his courage to the way he flies at the footy is a bit underrated, and for someone in his 3rd year of footy, he's doing stuff that not many of us can do.
Kane, another one of your teammates described Ken Hinkley to me as being ruthless, just a ruthless man. And we saw him in the box yesterday when Sean Hart was trying to settle him down there. He turned and you could see the fire in his eyes. How would you describe him as a coach?
Yeah, probably like that, Lordy. I think he's probably challenged me as a player more than any coach has. And as a senior player, you don't get too many coaches that come in and really lay it on the line for you, and he did that. But I think his honesty is the thing that makes him such a great coach. You know exactly where you stand with him. He comes around once a week and speaks to every single player on our list, which is something that other coaches that I've had in the past sort of haven't had the time to do, but he makes time to get around to everyone. Doesn't matter if you're playing, reserves in the SNFL or if you're, one of our better players. So the players really appreciate that. They know where they stand and they know what they need to do to not only stay in the team but get in the side if they find themselves out.
He actually publicly said, Ken Hinkley, that if you're going to play with Port Adelaide, you've got to be able to run. And all the players there can run. So we're going to go to the votes, and let's hope that Rowie put Kane Corns in here because I've asked for it. We'll go to the votes, and there they are there. No, Hamish Hartlett got the medal. Wingard was very good. Brad Ebert was good, and Brodie Smith was the best player for the Crows. But a really, really good win. A 55-point win, Hutch, in the end. So they'll take that 2 and zip. And Kane, I'll tell you what we have got for you. We've got all the prizes. There it is there. Lou's prize pack. It's all there. And, mate, you'll love them. Thanks for coming on.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me.
Kane Coins joining us there from Adelaide in what was a remarkable day of football. Have the Crows got some issues? Dangerfield's struggling to get some form?
Yes, he's been quiet for 2 weeks now. A lot of pressure on him through that midfield, isn't there? And obviously Pods isn't working. No. Tex Walker's a long way off. So I think that's...
McKernan.
Play Sydney next week.
They do,
Adelaide,
which is
so it's
massive.
a massive game for both clubs.
Who do you see being the better place at the moment of those 2 struggling teams, Adelaide and Sydney?
I think Adelaide. I think Adelaide's upside with their run and carry is still really good. I think Sydney got some real issues, as I pointed out before, in the midfield.
Has he drawn unnecessary attention to himself, Croft, with the contract discussion, Patrick Dangerfield?
Yeah, it was unusual coming out the day of the game when they played Geelong, so now it's a bit of a focus. But look, here we get going. He's a wonderful player. Love watching the way he goes about it, and he'll find form before you know it.
I'll tell you, both teams have very hard to beat at home this year because the City's just engulfed in that ground.
I agree with that. And
Best stadium ever.
And we just heard about Ken Hinkley, and I think you got to be a good communicator to be a good coach, and I think that's why he is so good, not just tactically, but I think to get around to every player. He's right. It doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen, does it? No. In my whole career, I don't think a coach ever got around to every player the week of a game. It doesn't happen.
Well, you weren't around very much during the week.
Oh, yeah.
Injury room.
Well, that's why the Sunday Footy Show is the best footy show going around, because Craig, our leader, gets around to all of us, rings us during the week when he can't see us face to face, and just tells us what's going on.
You want to have a beer and some chicken wings?
Yeah, that's right.
Never throws you under the bus.
No. Team player.
That's called leadership, right?